Yeah, good morning all. And thank you, Indian Chemical News and Prashantji for giving this opportunity to present. Uh, the Petchem, what is really important for India, and when we are saying Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, or Viksit Bharat, or self-reliant India, or export for the world. When we started for land hunt and all the things in India, so I was checking what are our raw materials, basically what we can work and how can I synthesize. To my surprise, almost 90% of the material I had to import and I had to synthesize. Then I was really thinking, are we making in India? And then the answer was no. We are just bringing all the raw materials from outside and we are synthesizing all those things. Then as a thought process, I generally write something to PMO as well. In 2014, when the Make in India was there in BKC, so I attended all the booths and why we are making in India, but are we ready for that one? So the real answer was no. Because all these petchems we were importing, and by importing, we are not going to make any money. Because all the cream is going to traders and all other manufacturers only. Then how are we going to make Atmanirbhar Bharat? The proverb is quite good, and we have to work out on those things. But really, means over the period, now BPCL is coming, ONGC is coming, and even other sectors like Reliance and other things. They are going ahead with the major petchems as well, where they are now synthesizing more, like all the chemicals which are 100% imported to at least coming down to 50% now. We are not scrubbing entirely 0%, but at least we are in the right path. So just to outline of my presentation and all the things. So what is SNF and global petrochemical trends, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and the Viksit Bharat when we are saying in 2047. So this is just our plant which we inducted in, we started construction of this facility in 2017 and we commissioned in 2020 in the peak COVID period, and we completed all the commissioning and started 100% production in 2021 from this plant. And from that, when we were, what we are synthesizing, basically acrylamide and polyacrylamide, which was 100% imported product for India. So I come from the oil and gas background, where I used to take out these products from the overseas and sell it into the market. But does it make sense? Why can't we manufacture in India? And then I was checking, we are having a third generation refinery or third place in the refinery in the world and all the things. Are we cracking those chemicals? Answer was no. So only we were cracking major things, petrol, diesel, kerosene and all the things. But if we have to crack the crude oil, there are 650 products in that one. So are we cracking? So the answer was really no. And that is what the real challenge is, how to make these things. And that is what, when we were coming back, so we started developing those things. I started first as a French company, I had to take my global views as well. Whatever they are saying, this product is approved in the group, I had to take it. Let it be China, let it be Taiwan, Indonesia, Japan, everywhere. So first year, we took almost 90% of the product from overseas. But it doesn't make sense that how I'm making in India or going to make the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Then we started challenging ourselves. Why can't we challenge to our Indian manufacturers that how can we get this real product, what is required? So for that, we went to even, I know BPCL is there, we went to them as well and told these are our criteria for the product, what we want for our synthesis. Even to Reliance as well, now Reliance has started ACN and all, and even to other manufacturers of ATBS and other products as well. Then the real answer started that yes, Our real approach is the vendor, means manufacturers, they give the product and they leave it. Okay, you come back to me for the purchase order. It will not work like that. Because for each and every product development, we have to sit together, what is my needs, what you can do in your manufacturing facility to cater my quality product, then only the real Atmanirbhar can work. And that is really when we started doing all those things with the Indian manufacturers, and I'm proud to say almost now I'm achieving 45% of the import, means manufactured in India products as well. And then, not only catering to the Indian market, I'm supplying to almost 40 countries now for entire oil and gas sectors where enhanced oil recovery is there. So that is one of the critical process to increase the recovery factor of the field. So majorly we are doing work with ONGC and Kane, Oil and Gas, Oil India and other places. So these are different verticals what we work in India and in global level: drilling, fracking, produce water, EOR and water shut-off, and the EPC contracts as well. So we are the EPC contractors as well. We build the plant like for ONGC and Kane, and we hand it over to them. Like in ONGC today only we have started the PGTR in ONGC Jhalora field in Ahmedabad asset. So to make in India, what is really required? So the backbone is the real R&D center. To analyze what is the product quality we require, are we going to have those facility to identify if the right specifications are there, right equipments are there for us to identify the quality of the product or quality of the raw material what we are taking for synthesis of the product. So for that, state-of-art laboratory facility is required. And I'm proud to say last year we have inaugurated the regional SNF technology center for that one to develop all these R&D facility. In the world, within the SNF, this is the third place where we have done this one after France and USA. So to get all those standards of equipment, to make those things, and then only we can ask to the real-time manufacturers of the raw material that this quality, this parameter is getting failed or getting revived. You need to adjust your specification in your manufacturing facility, and then only I can take that product for manufacturing. Otherwise, I'm happy by importing. So then we cannot able to make the Atmanirbhar Bharat or self-reliant India. So that is the real cause. Because when we are talking to the several vendors in India as well, they say, नहीं मैंने product दे दिया, आप check कर लीजिए, उसके बाद फिर आपका POA आना चाहिए. हम उनको बुलाते हैं कि आप आ जाइए, मेरा प्रॉब्लम समझिए कि मुझे किस स्पेसिफिकेशन में आपका प्रोडक्ट रन नहीं हो रहा है. एंड वो अब दोनों वेंडर या हम दोनों बात सामने बैठ के बात नहीं करेंगे, सामने बैठ के एक दूसरे का प्रॉब्लम अंडरस्टैंड नहीं कर पाएंगे, तब तक प्रोडक्ट डेवलप नहीं हो सकता. एंड दैट इज़ द रियल कॉज. अपने यहाँ पे चलता है, ये मैंने प्रोडक्ट दिया, चला के देख लो, ये चलना चाहिए आपके यहाँ पे, ये आंसर आ जाता है. तो उससे ये नहीं होता कि सी व्हेन आई एम वर्किंग इनटू द ऑयल एंड गैस फील्ड, सो मैं अगर आज मैं प्रोडक्शन ले रहा हूँ, यहाँ से मैं साउथ अमेरिका अर्जेंटीना भेज रहा हूँ, तो ट्रांजिट टाइम इज़ 55 डेज. आफ्टर दैट साइट पे जाके एक्चुअल उसका इम्प्लीमेंटेशन एंड एप्लीकेशन करने के लिए मुझे मिनिमम 70 to 80 डेज लगते हैं. उसके बाद मुझे रिजल्ट मिलेगा तो क्या फ़ायदा है उस चीज़ का. अगर मैंने एक भी रॉ मटेरियल मेरे प्रोसेस में चेंज किया तो it will not give the good result. And when I will get the good result, after 90 days, fail or pass. Then what will happen? Within my group as well, India से ये product आया था, ये fail है. Then again we have to reanalyze all those things. So that is what we have developed the state-of-art facility and application as well. For all those things what we are working, we are synthesizing so that we can cater better to the industry as well. Then the energy self-reliance. So basically, even energy sector mein, because we are working into the oil and gas sector majorly, not only oil and gas sector, but mining, ceramic, textile, paper, all those things we are manufacturing. But when we are working into the energy self-reliance, again, the enhanced oil recovery is the major factor how we can make it. So in India, if we are importing 85 to 90% of the crude oil, then it doesn't make sense that we are self-reliant on those things. So now government has taken big efforts for the green energy and all the things. But again, the demand versus the supply is quite low. So though Modi ji has put the target to remove the import dependency 10%, but it is not possible because our demand is increasing 15% every year. So how can we cater those things? Because new industries are coming up. With the industries, we require the energy as well. Without energy, we cannot able to do all those things. So all those things we have to see as well. And then the global expertise. We need to have the collaboration with the institute, with even the research organizations as well. When I approach to the Indian industries, means I will take only for the oil and gas. So the institutes which are more than 50 to 60 years old, they were saying, मुझे नहीं पता है, आप equipment दे दो, आप आके सिखा दो मेरे प्रोफेसर्स को पहले, फिर मैं कुछ करूँगा रिसर्च इस पे. तो उस पे ये अगर एटीट्यूड रहेगा तो हम कैसे कर सकते हैं? आज मैं ग्लोबल लेवल पे जाऊँगा तो मेरी ही कंपनी मेजर जो भी इंस्टीट्यूट्स है उनके साथ टाई अप करके हम रिसर्च ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्राम्स कर रहे हैं कि रियल टाइम बेसिस पे हमें प्रॉब्लम कहाँ पे है, हम प्रॉब्लम को आइडेंटिफाई कैसे कर सकते हैं एंड वो उस कंट्री के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में कैसे देख सकते हैं. बिकॉज एक प्रोडक्ट मेरा अगर कनाडा में चल रहा है, कनाडा इज़ हैविंग अ डिफरेंट वेदर कंडीशंस, वहाँ पे अगर मैं लिक्विड भेज रहा हूँ and with the negative temperature 38 minus 40 or like that, the product will not work. Because if I'm working in this environment where my temperature is around 35 to 45, so the product will not work for that environment. I have to develop those products for our environment. And that is again real challenge that we need to have the global expertise level as well. Or within India, the government is working now for the DSIR and all the things they are trying to incentivize. And that is what the real challenge is, how to put the global expertise with the R&D centers and all the things, and then to make the Atmanirbhar Bharat. And then the Make in India. As I told you, the Make in India concept is quite good, but we have to do work religiously and as a partner, not as a seller or buyer. If we work in that model, definitely whatever products we are importing, we can do 100% synthesis in India and we can manufacture the good products and sell for the world, for the India as well. And that is possible. So this is the global market, what we have in the petrochemical. So we can see almost 600 billion is the value. Expected growth is 5 CAGR and powering to 60% of the global consumer goods as well. The current scenario in India, when we are talking about, India imports almost about 45% of its petrochemical intermediate. So this is really means what upcoming is also there and what is committed. It's like even Reliance is going to ramp up for the other petchems and all the things. BPCL is ramping up. ONGC is ramping up very aggressively. And other sectors as well. Even means ArcelorMittal, they are also going into the big way for all these things. Then chemical and petrochemical are the second largest import category after crude oil. So that is what my punchline is. If we are saying Atmanirbhar, this cannot be the second largest importer. So it has to be a lowest priority that if we develop our own petchem requirement within India, this will be the lowest one. We cannot be the proud that second largest it can happen. And with even there are investments, as I said, HPCL, BPCL, even ONGC, and Reliance is coming up with the other investments as well. So what is really distracting? So the geopolitical situation, what we are saying, because several chemicals, what we see, even China, we are importing, then we have to see, is it a sustainable source for me? Today we are into the era of war. So China is supporting to Pakistan, Indian government can give that, okay, China import can be stopped. What can we do? We don't have those other substitutes other than China has been developed. And that is what the real challenge to us, because some chemicals, if you are working into those fields, that some chemicals are there from the Russia and Ukraine only. And if those chemicals are not getting imported out of those countries, we cannot able to produce some chemicals as well. And that is the real fact. So are we developing those facts that we need to have the other sources in the world? How can we develop those things? How can we develop our R&D culture within our company or within our country? That is really important. Volatile crude oil and raw material prices. As you know, China is the world's manufacturing hub in Petchem. But they are, when even ONGC or BPCL can agree, that if they do the cost analysis part, crude oil का price है and उसके पीछे derivative में जाएंगे, तो it is not possible for them to sell the product in India CIF basis as well. But they dump it. मैं simple एक classic example बताता हूँ. एशियन आईसिस इंपोर्ट का स्टैटिस्टिक्स था $1,400 पर मेट्रिक टन. आई गॉट अ डील कि आई एम गिविंग इट एट $1,000 पर मेट्रिक टन. सो आई बॉट द 3,000 मेट्रिक टन एंड सामने ही मेरा दूसरा पार्सल आ रहा था 1,400 से. तो कस्टम्स ने पूरा होल्ड कर दिया कि आप अंडर इनवॉइसिंग कर रहे हो. बोला भाई, आई एम नॉट डूइंग एनी अंडर इनवॉइसिंग, इट इज the spot market what world is giving right now to me. Why shouldn't I take the advantage? But with 1,000, अगर रिलायंस या कोई भी अपनी पेट्रोकेमिकल कंपनी है उससे मैन्युफैक्चर ही नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि आईसिस जो रेटेड प्राइसिंग है, जो स्टैंडर्ड ICIS आप लोग मार्केट में देख सकते हैं, तो वो स्टैंडर्ड क्या बोल रहा था कि 1,400 के नीचे CIF आ ही नहीं सकता. तो बट चाइना क्या कर रहा है? चाइना इज डंपिंग एंड डिस्ट्रैक्टिंग द मार्केट सो दैट यू कैन नॉट इन्वेस्ट एंड यू कैन नॉट सस्टेन एनी पेटकेम मार्केट. दैट इज वॉट इट इज हैपनिंग राइट नाउ. अगेन इंक्रीजिंग द एनवायरमेंटल रेगुलेशंस. इंडिया में हम देखेंगे कि हम अगर कोई ये कर रहे हैं, एक आध भी कंपनी सेटअप कर रहे हैं, सो फॉर अ नेशनल लेवल एनवायरमेंटल क्लियरेंस इट टेक्स मिनिमम 2 years. Whereas if we go outside, it takes minimum 6 months. वियतनाम या इंडोनेशिया आप कहीं पे भी जाइए, इस एशियन कंट्रीज़ में, other than वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज़ में, तो it takes more than what we 2 years is the timeline. They go for 3 years or 4 years as well. But in the Asia Pac, it takes only 6 to 8 months. How can we cater, or how can we fight with them with that these timelines as well? Then India is having a big opportunity or big market as well, as we are the 1/5 population of the world. Even availability of the port for import and export, India is doing very well. If we see the DSV report, अगर आप global DSV report देखते हैं, तो port congestions जो world में है, India is having the lowest one in that one. But again, that's what we have to take the big advantage for those things as well. And the strong, aggressive, innovating business models as well. Even the government has to change the policy, PIL and all the things they are getting into the electronics and other things. But Petchem में भी उनको आना पड़ेगा if they have to develop these things. And then only it is possible. And as I said, timelines. So basically, if I can give the ACN and acrylic acid, which I'm importing as a large-scale importer to manufacture these things. So these are the statistics. If we are not going to crack the petchem rightly from all these petrochemical hubs what we are constructing in India, we cannot able to make the Atmanirbhar Bharat. To make those things, we have to be open-minded. We have to sit down together to do the research work. Even the institutes has to play a big role, like in overseas or Western countries. Industry, institute, joint programs are there. In India, अगर मैं IITs, IIMs सभी के पास जाके आया हूँ, एक के पास भी नहीं है. अगर मैं ऑयल एंड गैस के बात करूँ, तो EOR पॉलिसी निकाला है गवर्नमेंट ने, और उसका क्या दिया है कि these institutes are authorized to do the policy check. मीन्स आप कोई भी फील्ड उसके प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं तो दे विल सर्टिफाई दोज फील्ड्स एंड दे विल गिव द परमिशन. बट एक भी इंस्टीट्यूट्स में इंडिया में वो जो क्राइटेरिया में चेक करने के लिए इक्विपमेंट्स नहीं है. व्हेन आई वेंट टू देम, दे आर सेइंग फर्स्ट इन्वेस्ट इनटू माय इक्विपमेंट्स, इनटू माय लैबोरेटरी एंड इंस्टीट्यूट, तब मैं आपको चेक करके दूंगा. फिर अगर मैं मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करने के लिए बैठा हूँ या इंस्टीट्यूट को बढ़ाने के लिए बैठा हूँ. सो दैट इज द रियल कॉज how we can develop. So these are some of the statistics and all the things. I know there is a bell from Prashantji. So these are the acrylic acid statistics as well, how we can move forward on those things. If we really want to develop, then definitely we have to revisit, and government is doing their job, but as a industry captains, we have to work as well. We have to work religiously. How can we develop those things? Even though there are certain parameters are not fulfilling, we have to sit down together and we have to educate our teams as well. And that is what R&D, and with incentives in specialty chemicals, even PLI has to be there in the Petchem as well. Then only it can be developed and all the things, because government is now looking for the iPhone or other things. So which is boosting, means that they have achieved into that one with the PLI scheme, but they can do far better into the Petchem, because world is now looking outside China, and we have to grab that opportunity and we have to take that opportunity as well. And then the cross-sectional integration, electronics, chemical, pharma, means all these things, how we can club it, how we can work it together. So that is really important. And before my session, there was a HSC. So HSC, again, it is important and it is a behavioral base. Means India में हम जब काम कर रहे हैं तो चलता है, चला लेंगे, ये एटीट्यूड होता है. एंड इवन इन आवर कंपनी एज वेल. बट व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड दोज थिंग्स, वी स्टॉप्ड इट. मीन्स आई कम फ्रॉम द ऑयल एंड गैस बैकग्राउंड. व्हेन आई कम इन टू द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर एंड ऑल द थिंग्स, वी कैन नॉट डू दोज थिंग्स. अगर वो करेंगे तो उसका लॉसेस आर मेजर. सो वी हैव टू वर्क, and that is what it is counting for 2% of the GDP, whatever losses are there. And that is real cause. एक सर थे पीछे से मुझे पूछ रहे थे कि कोई रियल कॉज नहीं देता है. यस, रियल कॉज कोई नहीं देगा, बिकॉज देर आर इंश्योरेंस, देर आर अदर थिंग्स. फैक्ट्री इंस्पेक्टर आएगा, ये आपने गलत किया, सब कुछ सील करके चला जाएगा. सो बट द फैक्ट इज हाउ टू मेंटेन दोज थिंग्स. वी नीड टू हैव द रियल रूट कॉज. RCA has to be developed in such a way that cannot be repeated again. And that is what we, as a industry patterns, we have to take care of all those things. Thank you very much.